Hey guys, what's up? Today I want to talk about the beauty in being shameless and bold when you want to manifest your dreams or your desires. When I was living in Haiti, I had no immediate family with me, I had no one with me, and I had no money. Yet I was able to build a six-figure business. Today is what I'm going to talk about. And I'm going to explain to you the two most important things that you need to understand when you are manifesting. Number one, this is probably the only thing that you need to know, but I'm going to give you a second one. Number one is that you are powerful. Powerful beyond anything that you can imagine here in this planet. More powerful than your schools ever told you, your church will ever tell you, your government will ever tell you, your own parents will ever tell you. You are powerful. The second thing is, luck always favors the bold. Luck or life always favors the bold. Let's get into the video. About 6 years ago, I made a decision that I wanted to build a business, but I didn't know what I was going to be doing. I had no money to invest in anything in particular, but I knew that I wanted to generate my own income. And I decided I'm going to meditate on the idea of me wanting to generate my own income. And somehow I will know. And I proceeded, I did that. I meditated for probably about a week, saying thank you, right? And I had this sudden urge to do research, and I did. And I was doing research on the market, the local market, where I could invest or where I could do business without having money, right? And then I stumbled upon education. And I started doing more research, and I realized that Haiti did not have, or they were not teaching in schools around STEM. STEM, which stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. Although it was very prevalent here in the United States and the rest of the world, but not in Haiti. So then I proceeded to do more research, and I put together a presentation about how STEM education can be of a benefit to students and also to the schools, because it would give them a whole new approach, and it would set some schools apart, because in Haiti the most popular schools are private schools, okay, owned by private citizens. So I had a friend at the time who was running her own school, and I had her in mind as to wanting to partner with her once I had the idea. And I said, oh my God, this will give her an edge over all the other schools. It will propel her into becoming the number one school in the country if she implements a STEM curriculum into her school curriculum. So I put together a PowerPoint presentation. I called her over, prepared dinner, and I made a whole presentation to her very professionally. Genuinely, even though she was a friend of mine, I wanted to give her the respect which I thought at the time she deserved. But to make a long story short, this friendship dissolved because it was misunderstood by her that I wanted more than partnering with her. Now that I am more evolved spiritually, it's probably my own projection. Okay, but we'll leave it at that. So once that friendship dissolved, because there was so many miscommunication, misunderstanding, I decided to go on my own. The reason why I had approached her was because I wanted her expertise in education, because she has a master's degree in education and I did not. But I knew this was a viable idea, and I knew this was going to work. I believed in it, and I wanted her to understand that, but it didn't happen. We had a lot of disagreement. So I left it and I went on my own, and she kind of took the idea herself as well, tried to do it. But at the time I said, no, honey, you can have all degrees that exist like in a thermometer, but I have the degree because I created this project and I'm going to make it happen. And so that's what I did. Guys, I was shameless and I was bold in taking the steps to make this, become the #1 STEM program in the country. When I tell you that the unseen forces which exist in the universe are at your service, the moment you decide to take the first step on your idea, like the most unbelievable path just open up for you. You are doing it because you are the operant power. But what you also, probably sometimes don't realize is that there are unseen forces at work for you. Okay? And these unseen forces, if you want to equate them to what the Hermetic laws talk about, the laws of the universe, such as the law of oneness, the law of mentalism, the law of gender, the law of correspondence, the law of attraction, etc., then we can consider that, there are unseen forces that are at work for us when we decide on something that we want to accomplish. And this is pretty much what happened to me. The moment that I decided that I was going to do this, I had given it a name, and I didn't know how I was going to do it, but somehow I knew that this is going to happen because I was the originator of this project, of this idea. And there was no way that I was going to fail because somebody just decided that, I was not good enough, or that I wanted something, or they made up an idea of me, which was false. So, once I let that go and I was like, this is going to happen, I would wake up every day going out there looking for ways to make it happen. And it did. So when I talk about unseen forces, guys, bear with me here, because obviously air is an unseen force, right? That could be manipulated in order to do something, to gain something, to have something. But that's just like magic is concerned, and that's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about your own power. So lo and behold, guys, people started showing up for me. Opportunities started showing up for me. I rented my own space. Parents, I was flooded with parents that wanted to sign up their kids into my program. It was an engineering program, and I wanted to teach kids differently. Haiti would not just become this paradise that we dream of, although it really already is, but it would not happen, the way that we want to see it happen if we do not become the builders of this country. That's what I wanted kids to understand, because kids today will be the adults tomorrow, right? And parents understood that, and the parents who understood that, they signed up within the program, which was called in French l'atelier des génies, which means the genius workshop. No idea how I was going to do it, but I knew and I understood one thing. I knew who I wanted to work with. I said to myself, well, I'm not an engineer and I want to teach engineering. I'm not a scientist and I want to teach science. I'm not a mathematician, but I want to teach mathematics. And I'm not a tech, savvy, but I want to teach technology. So I started reaching out to the people that I knew would provide me, with the, teachers with the skills. I went directly to an engineering school in Haiti and I hired the best that they had. I went to a tech, computer science school and I hired the best that they had. And with that, I was moving forward. Here's the beauty about being bold and being shameless. When you give birth, when a child is born, he doesn't come out as an adult, He needs to crawl, he needs to walk, he needs to go through all these steps, right, in order to become a fully formed adult. And that's what ideas are. That's what ideas are, guys. They do not come out fully formed. But in the process of working on your ideas and your desires and your dreams, they will eventually take the shape or the form that it needs to take. And that's how I view myself every time that I'm doing something. I don't necessarily know something. I'm not an expert in any field really. But one thing I know is that As I go, I learn. As I go, I learn. And the things will show up. The people will show up. I will be equipped eventually. It's like, when you go into a job that you don't have the skills for, but you learn on the job and then you become very skillful. And this is how I am. This is how I approach everything. It is definitely a level of delusion, but one that can serve you very well if you understand your power. Unfortunately, we're not told of our power. We're not taught of our powers. I'm not sure why. I don't know how to answer that, to be quite honest with you. But here's one thing that I understand about this. Those who understood their powers, they took a hold of that knowledge and decided, for political reasons, of course, they decided that they're going to hold on to the power, the knowledge. They're going to manipulate it in a way where they can control the rest. If you look at, the Roman Empire, for instance, on the side of the world, who decided to use religion, as a means, or the Judaic religion as a means to control the rest of the world, then you will understand why. And till today, the Vatican, the Rome, it's still literally an empire. It's just silent. Christianity is used to really control this part of the world. That's how they were able to enslave certain groups. That's how they able to wage wars on other countries, because it is as if, as they say it is their manifest destiny. So they believe God give them this power, and then they use it to control other groups. Now, the other groups who do not know their own power would fall for this trap, and they fall for it for generations and generations and generations. They can never come out of it. It's like a whole pyramid. Those at the bottom of the pyramids and those at the top of the pyramids. The ones that made it to the top of the pyramid they control the ones at the bottom of the pyramid. And they do it again for political reasons, for expansion, for colonialism, for the ability to control, but also to expand their influence throughout the rest of the world. You can see it happen. Just pay attention to history. You will understand. There's a reason why they will never tell you about, for instance, the Haitian Revolution and how Haiti gained its independence, because they wanted to maintain control of groups of people, within Latin America, the Western Hemisphere. They will never tell you how they were able to win the war. Which, if you look at the timeline here, 1776 is the American Revolution, 1789 is the French Revolution. The Haitian Revolution started in 1791. Although they finished their fight in 1803 to proclaim their independence in 1804, the revolution started in 1791. They will never tell you, because they would never want you to understand how powerful these Africans were, because they always tell you that Africans were slaves. That's what American history tells you. That's what French history tells you. Goes on and goes on. They hid that the same way that they want to hide your power. You will fall short of knowing who you are. This is the reason why you have a group of people that are always at the mercy of institutions, because they really believe institutions control everything, but they don't understand that they give their power to these institutions. Once you understand that you are the one giving the power to these institutions, what happens? If you become aware of that, that's how you get revolutions. That's how people break free, because they're like, wait a minute, all this time I'm thinking that you hold the power over me, but I was giving you this power. This is why, guys, you have to understand. And this, I feel like as I'm talking about this, it's like I'm slightly going into, a different topic. But this is all to go back to my first point of understanding your power and knowing your power. The power is in your hand. You are the operant power. You are the God of your reality. I'm going to keep going back to that because that's what it is. And the more you understand your power, then the more you will understand how to manifest, the more you will even go deeper on how to manipulate energy. And that's when you become like really powerful, knowing how to manipulate energy. So there's a reason why they hide the truth to you. There's a reason why they're the ones who write the history books, because they want to tell the story. They don't want you to tell the story. Why was not Haiti allowed to write its own history book? Because Haiti would tell the truth and the rest of the world would know. They will know how Haitians were able to manipulate energy as they were fighting this war with the French people. They would never tell you that they used forces of nature to win this war. When the French army was one of the largest, the biggest army in the world at the time, the Napoleon army, who was going to Egypt and stealing everything. Okay? They were going to Africa and occupying them. They went to Haiti and the Haitians decided, no, not today, boo-boo. Not today. We're no slaves no more. We're going to use the knowledge that our ancestors passed down in order to get out of this mess. And that's what they did. They will never tell you that. They will never tell you that the French army became sick with yellow fever. Not because yellow fever, because they were in the Caribbean, they were getting bit by mosquitoes. No, because Haitians understood how to use unseen forces. One second here. Because Haitians understood how to use unseen forces to get their ways, to move, to communicate telepathically, to know how to do teletransportation. The list goes on and on and on. I think this will be reserved for another video. Now, to go back to the point of understanding your power, that the moment you decide on something, whether you decide internally or by saying it, automatically a spark is created, and it is the spark of creation. Just like they tell you in the Bible, God says, let there be light. That's it. It's done. Creation is finished. It is the same way. So the moment you decide on something that you desire, you really know that you desire that thing, everything starts moving in your favor. People, like, you just happen to go somewhere, it happens to be the right place at the right time. You meet the right person that you needed at the time. Things just move for you. What you sometimes don't realize is that you are the one doing that. The forces that are with you, that is with every one of us, all of us. This is what moves for you. Now, you can decide to call these unseen forces however you like. You can decide to call them your guardian angels. You can decide to call them your ancestors. You can decide to call them your spirit team. You can decide to call it your higher genius. You can decide to call it Jesus Christ. You can decide to call it whatever you want. But the laws of the universe are the laws of God. And they move for all of us, whether you know it or not, whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not. They move. Law of gravity. You can be the most beautiful baby, the most beautiful woman in the world. You go on top of a building, you drop, that's it, you're gone, you're dead. Doesn't matter. The ocean will drown anybody. The ocean doesn't care because the ocean does what the ocean does. Okay, I always say this to my little sister: a lion, you're a good person, but a lion will still eat your ass. Okay, it don't matter, it don't care. So the forces of the universe will do what they do. Now what happens is that when you know your power, you understand how to put yourself in vibrational match to those forces. You become aligned with those forces, and then they move for you, they do things for you. You conjure them in a way. It's not witchcraft, guys. The Bible, if that's what you believe in, you can go there and look it up yourself. Read it, it's there. You want to look at, Hermes Trismegistus, and you want to believe in what he says, go ahead and do it. You want to believe in Thoth, Thoth, the Egyptian high priest, you want to believe in that, go ahead and do that. You want to believe in, occultism, in some books or whatever, go ahead. But there is something that is, it's a fact here. The way that the universe moves, that's it. It's not prejudiced, doesn't have any color, doesn't have any gender, nothing. Okay? So when I decided at the time that I was going to do that, everything showed up for me. I was bold enough. I was shameless. I wasn't doing anything wrong, by the way. I always make sure that I am in alignment with love and light in anything that I do. Because I am love and light. You are. The presence of God is love. It doesn't move in any other way but love, light. Okay? So once I decided I was going to do that, people showed up, money. I was charging what I decided I was going to charge a certain amount for kids that were coming into my program. Okay? And I didn't doubt myself, even though I was like, okay, what if somebody comes up and says that, well, you don't even have a master's degree in education and you're going to charge this much? I didn't care, because I believed in what I was doing and how it was going to be beneficial to the children, to the country, to the schools. So I was like, we're going to do this. Okay? And we're talking about a country that is limited, we're not, okay, it's limited in resources, but the resources, there are groups of people that have resources in their hands. And I understood that. And I said, I'm going to go and market this to the people that have the money, because I want to get paid for what I'm doing. And I have to survive. And Haiti is also an expensive place, right? So I marketed it to the groups of people that I knew could pay for the program. And I said, later on, I will move to other areas of the country. So we did. By the way, this program, the whole STEM thing that I was doing ended because the country became so destitute, so unstable, that I felt like, it was time for me. I needed to evolve differently. And I came back here to the United States, especially after they killed the president. I left it, and I said, you know what? It is what it is. I did what I could. Now I'm moving on to other things. Okay. So, but at the time, right, I said, I'm going to charge this much. I didn't doubt myself. And guess what? They paid for it. I had so many kids at some point that I was returning. I was refusing some. I was like, I can't handle it anymore because my staff is not large enough. I decided to build the first tech camp in the country. Very successful. Guess what, guys? There was a guy from Cambridge University that came, that was teaching at my camp. Cambridge University. I didn't go look for that. The guy came. It so happened that the guy spent 1 week teaching physics to the kids that were coming to my program. And this is something that these kids will never forget. And I know this, and I will never forget this. They were enlightened. They had fun. We built robots. We built solar cars, solar rovers. We did animation. We did science experiments. So much that I was able to do. We did it for 3 years. Within those 3 years, I partnered with schools as well, where my engineers that I hired, that were my team, that were in my team, I sent them to teach at schools. I challenged those schools. I was This is somebody who didn't have an education degree. I was training teachers on how to teach in the classroom because I observed the way they were teaching, and I was able to say, no, this is not how you teach. The kids will not remember. They need practice. Enough with the theories. They need to understand that they can build stuff. Building a road is not by reading it, it's by doing it. Construction is with your hands. So that's what I was doing. Can you believe this? With no degree in education, by the way, I studied politics. So I wrote a mini book on, the skills that made me become resilient and successful in Haiti. I called it I Am Resilient. Although I have it out, I do believe that, I'm going to keep editing it and add more to it. But I put a set of 10 skills that I learned as I was doing business and living in Haiti. Talking about how to negotiate, emotional intelligence and cultural intelligence, how to become adaptable in any environment. I'm talking about how to become resourceful in any environment. And I say this and I mean it. If I can make it in Haiti, you can make it anywhere. The outside circumstances do not matter. It is who you say you are that matters. It is not what people say about you that threatens your destiny. It is what you say about you. Okay? Believe in yourself. Believe in what you decide to call God in your world, and that that intelligence will move things for you to give you exactly what you're asking for. I hope today's message and video is one that will motivate you. I have a beautiful, wonderful lady that I did a couple sessions with. She's telling me about all the things that she wants to do. I said, listen, the world is ready for you, is ready for what you have to offer. All of us, we have something to offer. We have a gift. Do not let yourself be conformed by society, which is an illusional, construct, an illusory construct that is taking away your power instead of helping you remember your power. So she wrote me, and I will post it, I would ask her for permission to post it. And she says, thank you that you helped me remember, who I was. But you just need to know how to attain it, to put your hand and literally grab what you want, what you need. Do not let people tell you who you are. Decide who you are and be that every day, and deny anything that comes in between you and that. God is within you. That is the presence that moves you. If you decide to reach out to me, I will teach you how to get in touch with that spirit within yourself that moves you. Drop coffee here. Disgusting. That moves you. And once you get in touch with that spirit, that Lord is my shepherd, that's within you. That's why I tell you that in Haitian spirituality, when they affirm, they do this, you literally feel, this electricity within yourself. And that's what we are. We are electricity. In motion. Energy in motion, right? That's why we can attract things. That's why we can repel things, and so on and so on, right? Be bold. Luck favors the bold. Life favors the bold. Know your power. You are powerful. Do not listen to anybody that tells you otherwise. Just go find it. That's why I was saying that we have to become spiritually resilient, spiritually strong. This is where everything relies, in our spirit. We are spirit. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for sharing. Again, if you want to know more, if you have questions, do not hesitate to reach out to me. I'm available. God bless you. Let's continue to prosper.